Today we're having a reaction for another animation for FNaF and DBD. So it says SpringTrap versus the Trapper. Dead by Daylight. Well, FNaF versus Dead by Daylight. So as I continue to watch these animations and as I continue to do, like, you know, a little bit of some research, I will say that I'm really starting to see the appeal of this license coming into the game, and I'm pretty excited about it. And this video is from Gems. So check out the original video in the description, and it pretty much has the Trapper versus SpringTrap. So I'm curious to see what that would look like, honestly. And yeah, let's see what that's about. I like the intro so far. It looks really good. I like the idea that like the Trapper has like a shack where he puts all his stuff down, like his bear traps, his weapons are on the table. You know, I never really thought about it too much when it came down to the DBD killers. Like, I never thought that they would have like imagine that they would have like a place to kind of reside. But when we see the intro to DBD, we see them like he kind of walks around, you know, the map, you know, and he seems quite prepared for their arrival in the you know, in the opening cinematic when, you know, when they don't have the license animation thing playing. And I do like that concept that they do kind of exist within the fog in that kind of way, where they're able to kind of plan and sort of carry around stuff. So that is really cool. I like that quite a bit. And I also like the detail here that there's 2 bear traps, which if you guys who play the game know, he normally carries 2 bear traps in his inventory. So that's really cool. I like that little attention to detail.
I know the smell of a rotting corpse.
Is that, wait, hold on, is that, I didn't, not to making the Trapper talk, bro. They made the Trapper talk, and then the first thing he says out of his mouth is, "Yo, that dude stinks." Like, damn, bro. That's crazy. But I didn't think they were gonna do that. I thought they would have just SpringTrap talking, but Trapper, I didn't even imagine he would have that kind of accent. I thought it was like it might have been like an American sort of sound, but it sounded more kind of almost British even, or Australian maybe, I don't know.
Guilty as charged.
You're not from round these parts, are you?
How'd you guess? Is it the accent?
Because locals know to stay very far away from this place.
God, I'm shivering balls right now.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, for some reason hearing the SpringTrap in this version makes me think of it really makes me think of like the Green Goblin and William Dafoe's like the Green Goblin. Or it kind of reminds me of Mark Hamill's The Joker, you know what I mean? Like, those are like, they both kind of have that similar vibe. And then Trapper, I'm not sure where to pinpoint it, but it does kind of give me those vibes where it kind of has that energy, you know? Almost kind of like that scene in the Spider-Man you know, 2000, I think, in 2 or whatever have you. If you remember that scene where they're on the rooftop and they talk about joining sides or something like that, it kind of gives you that same energy.
I'm gonna stuff you back in whatever coffin you crawled out of.
Buddy, if only you knew how many coffins.
Stay there.
I've had my fair share of these. I'm kind of sick of it at this point.
Oh, that must be a reference to the lore that I have no idea about. For those of you who know what that reference is for the bear traps, please let me know in the comments, because I would like to be informed, because I don't know what the references is, but I like it a lot. It's cool. It is interesting that we kind of had it go off that way, if I kind of envisioned it a little bit differently, but I do like how this is going. This is really cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments like what the significance of the bear trap is. I like the splash screen of having like the SpringTrap versus the Trapper, you know? I like that a lot, you know? That's really cool. That's really fun. That's really interesting. I like that quite a bit. Okay, that was really cool. They actually had the Trapper stun noise. Okay, that was cool. That was awesome. Okay, you got that. You got that. That was good.
See, that's your first issue. Your choice of weaponry is too bulky. Though I suppose, bad neighborhood, right? Your old showmate.
That's kind of cool. I never really imagined that his weapon was that bulky. It looked kind of lightweight, like a machete to me, you know what I mean? Like a makeshift machete type thing. But then I also, maybe that in itself is a reference to Dead by Daylight, where like they can only hit like once and then they go on cooldown technically. Or it could be the fact that like when you do miss your swing, it does have a pretty lengthy miss cooldown. So the Trapper should have equipped Unrelenting.
See how loud you are with your throat ripped out.
Hold on a minute, I want to actually rewind a little bit. So, is that, like, what is that inside of the skull there? Like, is that, like, the extra set of teeth? Or is that, like, just the animatronic teeth and then the ones in the front are decorative? Is it like a shark? Like, I don't know. For those of you who know, let me know, because I want to hear about it. This is really interesting. Oh, his weapon he's using is a screw. Interesting. You know, it's interesting because, like, every time I've seen SpringTrap, he's either had a fire axe, a kitchen knife. Now he has a screw, apparently. This is new stuff to me, man. Let me know, man, if that even makes any sense here. I have no clue.
Little rabbit.
Son of a bitch.
Well, I will say, it is interesting kind of seeing, like, the trap get kind of snapped, in half, almost. Because normally when you play the game, at least, it just kind of snaps closed. But I do like the idea that the traps are getting destroyed, which is interesting. That seems like a very old reference to the old DBD that used to have something like that, which is really interesting. I'm really enjoying the attention to detail here. I'm enjoying the voice acting, which is quite good. I wasn't too sure how Trapper would sound, but this is a really good idea as to, you know, what that would be. You know what I mean? So that's really interesting to really kind of imagine that that's how he kind of sounds, you know? Especially with the stun noises that that they included in there when he would take a hit, which is pretty cool. I like that attention to detail as well. It's very interesting. that kind of gave me the like a sort of Friday the 13th kind of feel, which I do know is also sort of like as a trapper in general is sort of referencing Jason Voorhees anyway. So that, and like when he kind of did that, it kind of reminded me of that that idea. Now, obviously, you know, Trapper is not as strong as Jason because Jason would have stopped the car like literally just from just standing there and like hitting it, you know, but you know, we all know that Trapper here is just a normal guy, essentially, so I can see why he's getting bodied by the car. The fact that this has become like now we're on the road, like this is crazy. This is not something I expected to see with SpringTrap versus the Trapper, honestly. I thought it would be like a melee fight, you know what I mean, and it would have kind of ended there, but the fact that we're having a whole like driving section is actually insane. And I wouldn't have expected that at all. But I do think, I don't know if this is also a part of the references we're getting here where like the car itself is purple. I don't know if that's like a detail. I know the license plate was, but I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. But I know that the car is purple. That could, obviously that is most likely is a deliberate choice. Could have been any other color, really. But I gotta say, I mean, it is purple. So I don't know. Let me know. Am I digging too deep into this? Like, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Oh, so we're at the McMillan Mines almost. Not really though, because it wasn't specified, but we can assume that it would be, considering that, you know, the whole thing with Trapper is that he his family owned like a bunch of like mines or whatever. So we know that that's a pretty cool reference. So it seems like it consistently stays within the setting that, you know, Trapper's kind of doing his thing. And SpringTrap kind of popped up on him.
You had insurance.
The more he speaks, the more it reminds me so much of Mark Hamill's like the Joker, bro. Like his character so much, it reminds me of him so much. When especially the way he said the whole insurance thing. The only thing you got to do is just raise up his pitch and just start like giving him some laughs, and he's pretty much just gonna hit the nail on the head with that type of reference.
This.
Bro, I was about to say, like, yo, SpringTrap could box? Like, what's going on right now? And then all of a sudden, Trapper over here had a rant, like, had a hook. Where did he get that from? Yo.
Say hi to the kids for me.
Tell him Calm yourself.
You sore loser.
Yo, which C4 is
Loser.
which C4 which COD game is this from, right? Like this has to, I don't know if it's from Call of Duty. It might be from a completely different game. But this reminds me of like Black Ops 1 when you would just like launch your big like C4 out like that big like almost pillow looking thing you just throw out, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, what the heck? So this is really cool. I like this a lot. I'm the driving was already hilarious. Now Trapper's about to blow up the mine like with himself and SpringTrap in it is insane. I'm not gonna lie, I really did not expect this level of action to be like in a more like horror themed like thing, honestly. Like to have like a mines and then they just get blown up or something is kind of insane. But if you want to watch the original video, please check it out, linked in the description. Check out J Gems here, man. Check out J Gems original video linked in the description and watch the original video, man. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, man, leave a like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things. Support with the channel with the links in the description. You could follow on Twitch as well. Also, what else can I mention? Become a member for exclusive content. You can also join the Patreon to support as well. Follow on Twitch. And I'll see you guys in the next video.